Welcome back. It's time for your Smart Money Minute with Andy Mattingly from Forum Credit Union. And today he's teaching us some expert tips on starting or keeping a budget.
Always has some great advice. Andy, welcome to the show as always.
Great to be here as always.
Happy to have you. All right, budgeting. This is a big topic that everybody can learn, even those of us who do have one. We can always tighten some screws here and there. Why do most people struggle with budgeting?
Well, the first thing is they're not very realistic with how they set up their budget. So, you need to be realistic with that. But the other important thing is to make sure you find a budget that really matches your personality.
Okay.
So you want to work on those things. Those are the most important things that you can do.
Okay, what do you mean match your personality? What do you mean by that?
Well, so like if you're a detailed person, then you can do a detailed budget. But if you're kind of like, I don't like the details, I just want the big things, don't pick a detailed budget. You're going to get off track right away and you're going to hate it. So find one that you're going to enjoy.
You're going to be less likely to do it if it's not matching with your personality.
Yes,
I get that.
exactly.
So once you master that, what are some of the key kind of moves someone can do to make big moves in their budget as well?
I think one of the most important things is to put together a budget that you can, that you can live by. So, like if your problem is discretionary spending and you set in there and you say, I'm spending $1,000 a month on discretionary spending, but on my budget I'm going to put $500. Well, how are you really going to get from 1,000 to 500? So be realistic with that. And then also make sure you're solving your greatest problem. If you're just spending too much money but everything else is fine, then don't worry about this detailed budget. Just focus on the one that solves your problem. But if you're not saving enough, then find that budget that helps you save more. Maybe it's the 50-15-10 budget where you're automatically saving 10% and then you figure out the rest of it. So find that thing that works to solve your best or most important problem.
And automating it can be such a helpful tool. You've talked about that in the past too, where just don't even think about it, just sock it away. So how can we improve our budgeting mindset for success just overall, Andy?
I think one of the most important things is to make sure that you're not going to get it right the first time. Some people take 9 months to 3 years to find the budget and get it to work. And then the other thing is to focus on the overall. You're going to be up and down on your budget categories, and sometimes you're going to be over in one and under in the other. It's the overall that matters, that you don't spend more than what you plan to spend, regardless of how you divvy it up.
Yeah, okay.
Well, what's some advice you would give someone who's either just starting or maybe struggling with a budget right now?
I think one of the most important things is if you're starting out with budgeting, one of the great things you can do is have an emergency fund.
Okay.
Right? Because that's your budget savior. There's always some extra expenses that come up. So if you've built that emergency fund, you can solve all those problems. And then the other thing is make sure that you're willing to change. You're going to have to change your lifestyle, you're going to have to change, your income outlook. All of those different things can help you be successful at budgeting. Too often we worry about all these little things and, oh, we didn't do this, but sometimes it's these bigger ideas that you have to figure out.
Sure, and for that emergency fund, I know it's going to be a different figure for everyone, but what do you recommend, Andy?
Well, actually, I recommend 2 emergency funds, right? So one is the everyday I've spent too much money and I need a little money in, and so that, maybe that's just a couple $1,000s that you can, and you're saving a little bit every month. The big emergency fund, if you lose income or something like that, at least 4 months and up to 9 months of all your expenses saved. So I like to think about 2 emergency funds. One for those everyday emergencies. I need a new blazer emergency, and then the real emergencies, right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, future you is going to thank present day you. Follow